Dignitas has been the final boss many times here for Team Queso. You go back to Regional 1, Queso loses a heartbreaking Game 5 to miss out on top 8. This time around, they still lost to Dignitas, but they make it back to top 8. Now's an opportunity for Queso to get some revenge.
89%. That blows my mind, Corelli, because of how close this series was in the Swiss stage. This is a rematch. They talked about it on the desk. Queso looked great. Dignitas looked great. It was a shootout. Hopefully we get the same level of high-flying action in this series, and I think it might be a lot closer than what Chad thinks.
I think so, too. Though I don't blame him going for Dignitas with the way Dignitas have been playing. The #1 team in Europe right now, and they have lived up to the name once again here in this regional so far, at least into this top 8. Both these teams, though, leading the stat boards in this Grand Prix for goals per game. And how about one right off the box for Joyo? 1-0 Team Queso.
Joyo, I mean, what is he doing right here with that 50-50? Wins the challenge and then continues moving forward. The fact that he stopped his rotation, looked like he was on his way out, but then saw that he could get a touch on the ball, win that challenge, and then find a fantastic dunk to put Team Queso in the lead right out the gates.
And that's a great way to start if you're Queso. You got to come out hot. And maybe another one for Joyo as he's trying to go through. Vatira tries to get after it. Not able to put that one away. Here's a shot from Rise. It's going to get by the last man. And 2-0 quickly for Team Queso.
And it's been these quick shots from the midfield for Team Queso. It seems like Dignitas, they can't get back on defense in time. They're not expecting these quick little shots all the way from distance. And it just slips in the defense. Dignitas, where's it at? The first minute, it's not existent.
A dream start. Maybe another one here for Joyo. What? It's open off the post.
Oh my goodness.
Turtle, we can't even say anything before they scored.
Everybody's been slapped in the face who picked Dignitas. Everybody picked them on the desk, and then all of a sudden 3 goals from Team Queso. This is unbelievable. What a start for them.
Oh my. Team Queso not messing around here against Dignitas. And they have come out hot. Joyo in particular, he's been all over. Another threatening, just robbed and a miss there from Jorius. And now the question,
I hope this means we get a shootout, Corelli.
I think we're in for one.
Yeah,
I definitely think we're in for one. Both these teams, #1 and 2 in goals per game, as I was trying to mention earlier before Queso put back 3.
Another one.
Maybe a 4. That one's too high. And right now, Dignitas need to get some shape. The ball being played around them. They haven't even really had an opportunity to move downfield and get control. It's been all Team Queso at the moment, and we're only a minute and a half in.
I mean, just look at the speed. You can see Rise there winning the 50-50. That's a good demo there from Jorius, but ultimately they're going to be stuck on defense because of that quick rotation. The speed just in favor of Team Queso. Another pass in the midfield. No shot is answered on the other side of it, but we've still got high-flying pressure out of Team Queso. Dignitas, their backs are against the wall. In Game 1, we're just now hitting the 2-minute mark in the first game.
And Dignitas not really playing as a team as they go downfield. Here's a light shot from Scrub, easily saved away from Joyo. But up until this moment, not a lot of intention behind Dignitas to move downfield. Here's some pressure now. If they can get a piece of this off the back wall. Jorius, tough one to deal with as it was hugging it. Scrub trying to buy time. Queso want to threaten more, want to pile on as we approach halftime. But Dignitas slowly gaining a foothold in this game, spending some more and more time on this Team Queso side.
I just keep getting impressed with these mechanics here, Corelli. Team Queso, they're rotating out. They're winning every single challenge. They're beating Dignitas in the speed department, which is nearly impossible given how Dignitas have been playing lately, and they're still hitting with high-flying mechanics. It has been a joy to watch. Dignitas are finally breaking out, though. Maybe they'll lead into something, but they need to utilize each other more. More passing, some chemistry on the field. It's just been solo plays, and maybe a couple of demos there from Jack.
And they're trying to set up that midfield line. Dignitas looking to lock in Team Queso, but it's not going to happen. Rise with a great touch to beat that midfield line. Now he's going for a bump, trying to open up some space. Vatira can't make the play, and Dignitas are going to get out. Here comes apparently Jack.
Here we go.
What can he put together? He's stopped in the midfield. Jorius trying to keep it going for Dignitas, but Team Queso to thwart the attack. And when you're down 3 goals and a minute and a half left in this game, you do start to feel the pressure of the time.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to get down the field. Jorius has opportunities to drop it.
Look at the
Fatira reads it
speed.
perfectly.
Look at that. That is ridiculous. That win on the defensive side to get it clear all the way into the half of Dignitas. You're relieving so much pressure, and Joyo's still going here off the backboard looking for a double tap. Mechanics are there. The speed is there. Still not letting up is the defense of Team
What a
Queso.
read. Oh my, Rise. Score that one,
That's
Fatira.
it. That's it.
What a read from Rise. He pre-jumped this one, read it off the ceiling before it even hit, and then plays it downfield. Dignitas had no idea. There was just no shot to read that play from Rise. What a read off the ceiling. Queso up by 4.
I mean, they just know every single play that Dignitas are trying to throw at them. It's like they see it before it gets even developed here in game 1, Corelli. It's ridiculous to watch, and Queso, they're putting on a clinic. They look fantastic. Dignitas have got a lot of work to do, but that could be the first step if it went in to getting themselves on the board and back in the series.
And that was the best play we've seen from Dignitas. They've played a little bit on this Team Queso side, but that was the most threatening chance, and it came under a minute left in this game. And at this point, you really just look towards game 2 for Dignitas, who have come out extremely slow. Maybe a 5th. Joyo, it's too high. But you do look towards Dignitas and figuring out their shape downfield. At the moment, it has just been abysmal from them. And you got to give a lot of credit to Queso. Like I said earlier, at the first and second goal, but now sitting here 4-0, a dream start for them to just get their offense going, set the pace of the game, and come out and punch Dignitas in the teeth.
Yeah, and I'm obviously impressed with this entire Team Queso roster in game 1, but Joyo in specific, the first game, he was so aggressive, he was winning challenges, and what I noticed is he cuts his rotation in early a lot of the time. It's like whenever he's rotating back, he's very aware on whether or not his teammates are all the way pushed back and whether or not he needs to have an immediate turn to keep the pressure moving forward, and that's allowed a lot of Team Queso to move forward with confidence, keep that ball in the half of Dignitas, and overall just play a dominant game because they are winning in every department. Literally, the challenges as we watch the replays, it's a lot of early shots from the midfield, but then as we even developed more into that individual game, it was lights out everywhere else here for Team Queso, Corelli.
Yeah, it looked extremely strong for Queso. Now it's about keeping the consistency that we saw in game 1. Obviously, not every game's going to be a 4-0 here for Team Queso. And of course, Dignitas are going to make changes. And the biggest one is just picking up the pace of the game. I mean, it was just too slow from Dignitas here. Queso made a couple of good plays. You got to hand it to him. The offense looked good. But Dignitas surely could do a better job of getting into the swing of things here, as it was at a completely flat start for Dig.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the first game here, Corelli. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. Dignitas obviously could have just been warming up, getting things ready and revved up. So we'll see how they perform here in game number 2. Queso, they've got everything on the line. We heard it on the desk as that one almost pinched in from Dignitas' own scrub killer. But Team Queso, they got everything on the line, Corelli. They need to make it to the grand finals and win this event, but it has to be against BDS.
Well, with the way they are playing right now, they're making a good case for themselves. But it's only been a single game. They've got to go through a few more. Dignitas looking threatening here. Joyous, that shot a little too sharp. Not able to beat the post. Apparently Jack trying to play through the Team Queso defense, but they're all over it. Viteria to clear it downfield. Less offensive output here from Queso, but as soon as I say it, Rise with the second touch. Joyo. Not a lot of options here going into the dig corner, and an easy clear here for Scrub.
Okay.
You can see Queso, they're coming off the ceiling, they're coming off the walls to challenge Dig right now. Creative, not only on offense, but defensively to keep Dignitas back.
It does feel, though, like things are shifting slightly in favor of Dig. We're seeing a little bit more pressure. Maybe Dignitas getting more comfortable. The striking has not been too great. I've seen a couple of opportunities for Joreus. Maybe if he gets warmed up more, maybe another opportunity there. And that one a little bit high and still stays from Joyo. Apparently Jack looking for maybe a sidewall pinch. Doesn't find it. But look at the speed. Dignitas, they're picking it up, Corelli. We're seeing more pressure from them and a lot more opportunities. This could be the change and the shift that they've been waiting for.
Some better challenges coming out from Dignitas as well. And you love to see those clears on the Queso side. If you're Dignitas, just down the field to relieve pressure, easy for players like Joreus to pick up and reset the Dig offense.
Ooh.
Instead, though, Rise will just dunk him in his own corner. Here's Vatira looking for the back wall. He's going to get there.
Ooh,
here comes
double
Rise
tap.
now on the shot. The defense did not expect him to hit that one so cleanly. Another great pass of Vatira.
Oh my goodness.
Burner towards the net.
What?
And Dignitas still are able
here
to
they
make the
come,
save.
here they come.
Darius, the lead blocker, but a second man comes through for Team Queso.
It looks so well planned from Team Queso. With the demo, you got a midfield pass coming in immediately after the demo, and then even a follow-up from the initial shot. Things are still flowing for Team Queso while they've been put on their heels a bit more in this individual game and stuck on defense. They still keep coming with a very, very strong offense. Here's Joyo to lead it. Maybe looking for something off the backboard. Vatira with the challenge, and they're stuck in that Dignitas half, which is where they want to be, Corelli.
Both these teams averaging around 10 shots per game. The offensive output is insane from both these teams so far in this regional.
Unreal. Now, we were asking if it was going to be a shootout. And of course it is, because we just got informed that the series yesterday that they played in the Swiss stage, Corelli, set the EU record for most combined goals scored in a best-of-5. So we've got a lot of firepower, especially on offense here from both sides.
And yet we sit here tied 0-0.
Oh, yeah.
As both teams
This is just how it goes.
Yeah, they've definitely stalemated each other. Now Vatira, he's trying to push through. That's 2 now for Dignitas. Everyone's inside the net on the Dignitas side. Joyo's trying to take them all on, and he'll be shut down. Vatira trying to keep it alive here for Team Queso.
Go Rise.
Rise will toss it towards net. Maybe not the best clear there from Jorius, but Joyo does not get a good touch, and a big clear now from Scrub will help Dig get down the field. Ooh. Apparently Jack will still get dunked by Vatira, who again, they just hang around the ball. This Team Queso team, they do not let Dig out.
And it looks like Dig are very low on boost. A lot of times I'll see them sitting on their own corners waiting for that boost pad. Just getting starved out. Simply put, from Team Queso, the midfield presence isn't there because they're getting demoed. But hold on a second. Here's Jorius, the 1v1 player, almost makes something work. But again, it's turned around instantly from Team Queso. It's one opportunity denied from Dignitas, and Dig can't keep that ball in the half of Team Queso.
7 shots to 5 in favor of Team Queso, who have done a great job to put on the pressure. Dignitas, though, have looked better. They've kept their shape on defense. Now in the final 10 seconds, looking to hold off Team Queso maybe one more time.
No way.
That
off the backboard?
Off the back wall.
What? He read it?
The shot
How did he read it?
Off the post.
What?
It's still bouncing on the goal line, and no one's there to follow it up.
That was absurd. Rise jumped for that shot before it got deflected from Team Dignitas and recovered mid-air to find the shot, saved off the post. Dignitas, they escape with murder, and somehow we find ourselves in OT.
I mean, Rise has had insane reads today.
That was unreal.
He's done it defensively, that time offensively, and I really can't blame anyone for not getting that read because no one expected a shot of that caliber coming out.
And especially that fast. I mean, you get a deflection, Corelli, and you don't expect somebody to be up for the shot immediately pre-jumping. It's ridiculous.
Insane work from Rise, but it's still not enough to break the Dignitas defense. They're going to need more than that. Vatira, well, he can't play it out of the corner. Dignitas trying to lock him down, and a good bump from Joyo. Now the demo from Scrub. It was just the last man of Vatira for the clear. That pass, no one's there from Dignitas, and I don't know if they're not on the same page or mistouch is coming out. That's a couple times now where Dignitas have wanted the pass, and no one there except for Team Queso to pick it up.
Oh, but that's a good demo from Abjack, but the pass was missed. It came through from Jorius, and the 1v1, hold on a second, from Rise. Almost turning into something pretty clean there. But again, that pass came out from Dignitas. Nobody in the midfield, or I believe Abjack was there, but didn't anticipate that bounce. A very big opportunity wasted from Dig, and we're still stuck in OT.
Oh, Vatira does get over the first man. He wants to take to the sky every single time. Rise on the shot. Will be turned away. Now it's Dig's turn. Can they put something together on offense?
It's a good pass.
Rise. That shot's going to go wide. Joyo waiting to see what Dignitas gives him, and they're not going to give it to him. Now apparently Jack with some space to work with. Options to his right. Jorius was there. Apparently Jack again picking it up. Dangerous ball coming off the backboard, but easily read by Rise. You thought for a second that offense was going to come out from Dignitas, but shut down by Queso again.
Well, it was great defensive play there from Vatira playing man coverage. And then hold on a second. Here he is again.
Joyo!
Off the backboard. Joyo with the follow-up. This was delightful. Everybody getting involved. Everybody finding a touch, Corelli.
Oh my.
And Dig, they can't hold on like they did just before we got into overtime.
And I think apparently Jack, he might have wanted to push that one past the post, and instead it centered towards Joyo. Great placement there. Queso up 2-0 here in this series. Unprecedented, and a timeout called by Dignitas.
The immediate timeout from Dig. Let's see how they recover here, because they've got a lot of work to do. It looked better in game 2. Don't get me wrong here, Corelli. They were having a couple of chances, some opportunities on offense, putting it off the backboard. The midfield passes were connecting pretty rarely, I would say, though. I mean, apparently Jack was always in position, ready for a pass to come out. Couldn't find the touch. So the ideas are there, but they can't get the execution. It's a frustrating game and series for Dig.
Well, and I didn't want to say it after game 1 because it was only one game, but now with game 2, the way it's gone, sure, the scoreline has gotten closer, but you really didn't feel like Dignitas was that threatening. They mentioned it on the desk. Gibbs said it, I think, where people had questions about Dignitas even after their top 4 finish in the first regional, when they didn't really look all that consistent, even when they beat Semper and then they got crushed by BDS later on. It didn't really feel like Dignitas was that great. They were performing at a high level, but then in the second regional, they came around and looked really good. Now we're in the third one, and we see how they performed in the Swiss stage. They looked decent. They looked actually quite good, not decent. They looked very good. Offensive output was there.
Just the best stats, you know, whatever.
Yeah, just the best stats. But they come into today, it doesn't really look as strong as it was yesterday. So what is happening to Dignitas? Why is Queso coming out so strong against them?
I mean, it could be the fact that they're just not expecting this level of high performance from Team Queso. While it was a close series yesterday, maybe Dignitas looking a bit overconfident. They seem a bit sluggish too, and slightly off with their positioning. There's a lot of different factors. They're close. Don't get me wrong, Claire. They're close to getting things flowing and to connecting here on the offensive side. And we have seen some good defensive stances here from Dignitas. Like that save right there to keep out the OT and to also react to that shot from Rise was truly something else. But we need more. We need to see that transition from offense. They got to make a great play on defense, which we did see from Dig. But then it's what do you do on offense? How do you recover and then move forward against a Team Queso that seems to be firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, and I mentioned it earlier in that game as well, in the previous game. It just felt like they weren't on the same page. They played great defense. They were able to stop Team Queso a lot more. But when they went downfield, it felt like it was everyone for themselves. No one able to really combine with each other. They did it once or twice when they had the space, and that's credit to Queso. I mean, they've done a great job to play at a pace that's tough for Dignitas, I think, to replicate and put their offense against Queso.
Yeah. I have seen a couple of demos from apparently Jack, who got 15 demos in their previous series, which is absurd. So maybe the aggression has helped him and will continue to help him if he keeps looking for those demos. We'll see what happens here after the timeout. What have Dignitas done to recover? What are they trying to implement and what are they trying to change? We'll find out.
Well, here's Queso and Rise, who has just been insane with the reads, and Vatira with a dangerous shot. Dignitas couldn't get a touch on that one early enough. They're happy to see it go high. Joyo, well, he couldn't do anything with it. Dignitas now trying to set up in the midfield, but no one there again on the touch from Jorius. Scrub looking for apparently Jack, and he doesn't get the touch towards net. Vatira also missed. Jorius' shot goes wide. Team Queso still playing at the same level as they were before, looking for their first goal.
Yeah.
And it won't come here, as apparently Jack will pick it up.
They're taking a lot of boost Rise, getting and stealing boost on the way out. And it's interesting because the boost didn't seem to be that big of an issue for Dignitas because they were still not stealing as much as Team Queso in yesterday's matchup. But here, they are struggling to find boost, struggling to get back into position. They're waiting on full boost pads in their own half, I found a lot of the time. And that's going to ruin and waste a lot of valuable seconds to get back in rotation and stay firing on offense. Almost an opportunity there, missed from Dig.
A little panic coming out from Team Queso as well. They've been rock solid on defense, but that was a free clear. for the last man. They do get it out in the end. Dignitas trying to set something
demo.
up. Here comes Scrub. A demo. Scrub wants it towards net. Vatira will shut it down. Apparently Jack the shot on target. Joyo there to make sure it's seen away. And if the last game was any indication,
demo.
this one might be a close one. But hold on, Rise! He went over the last man, but just a little bit too high off the crossbar.
Oh my goodness.
The individual plays from Queso have been something special here against the Dignitas defense.
And it would have been a real big slap in the face to Dig after the aggression that Team Queso were forced to deal with. I mean, they got demoed, and then Rise also got bumped, and then the follow-up, and Joyo is there to clean it up. So many moving factors here for Team Queso, and it's all working brilliantly.
And look how many times Queso puts it over the net, just freezing the last two men on the line in the Dignitas goal, and sets up opportunities for their third man to come through and put it away in Joyo. That's a great play from Queso, just to keep Dignitas down. And Queso up now, maybe two.
Another one.
Puts it home off the pass from Joyo. Double up for Queso.
And I just keep getting impressed with the team plays. It's 150-50 from Vatira, and then a pass into the midfield for Rise from Joyo. All three players had such an important role in making that goal possible, and they all hit their marks, finding the touch, finding the 50-50, and eventually getting the shot.
The kickoffs have been phenomenal from Team Queso, even with some of the goals not being technical kickoff goals. Off the kickoff, Queso have been high pressure from the start. Dignitas have been very slow to get set after a kickoff.
It's so weird, though, Corelli, for me, because it feels like Dignitas have much better pressure in this game, and yet they're left scoreless. They've gotten several demos. The physical plays have been there. They put Queso in uncomfortable situations. We've even seen, like you mentioned earlier, some panicked moments out of Team Queso, but there's still nothing for Dignitas that has developed.
Maybe a chance here. Joris tries to put it away. He will find it. Dignitas get on the board.
This could be exactly what they needed to get things flowing. A 50-50 off the backboard, sent out to Jorius with a clean shot. Jorius initially from that corner hasn't been hitting his marker, been too accurate, but finally he breaks that curse, and Dignitas they're within one.
They cut the lead in half, but they're going to need more. And right now, Queso, they have played at an inspired level so far here in this series. Coming up on a minute left.
This has to be a must-win for Dignitas. I mean, nobody wants to look at a reverse sweep in a best-of-7. Such an important game individually for Dig.
Considering this is their first goal all series, certainly is one that has bared some fruit for them. It's apparently Jack. He wants this one towards net. Tried to get the bump on Joyo. Scrub was there. Apparently Jack played off his own sidewall. Gets some help from Jorius. Queso looking to hold strong for the next 40 seconds. Dignitas looking threatening, but another good clear from Joyo. And their eyes will read this pass out from Scrub. It's a weak touch again from Dignitas that Team Queso have jumped on every single time.
And that was such an important opportunity for Dig because they got a demo. They were ready to make an attack or at least put an opportunity on net. But then the pass got intercepted. Too predictable from Dig. They got to change it. 16 seconds left. Still looking for one goal. They need to make a change, and they need to make it fast.
This could be it. Less than 10 seconds. That one gets by Vatira. Here
comes
apparently Jack. It's wide open, and a huge blunder from Team Queso. Let's dig back in.
What on earth happened from Team Queso? It looked like Vatira went up for that ball. Didn't find a touch, and from Joyo's perspective, he expected that touch to come out from his teammate, went on the backboard, and then was just left in no man's land, Corelli.
No boost there for Vatira.
Oh, that hurts.
And overtime looming here as it will drop down. Queso let this one slip away. See if they can hold on.
If we see a comeback from Dig, I mean, we're gonna think back to that exact moment, Corelli. That was huge.
Well, it could change the tides here in this game, or in this series rather. Certainly in this game. For Dig, who I think have been kind of down on themselves here in this series. An overtime win like this, where they've come back into this game, where they finally found the back of the net, is exactly what they would need. Queso trying to prevent that, though. A big clear downfield. Joyous. Straight back into the hands of Queso. Have done well here in the corner to win a couple challenges. Still Dig looking to fish it out. Apparently Jack can't get the cut back across. Vatira has some space down the line with Joyo. Pass off the ceiling. No one there to follow it up. They all backed off. You can see the intention
Sidewall
from Team Queso.
Oh,
right
no
now. Great
way.
Fake. A little dummy from Vatira, and it almost caught the defense out.
Oh, I love that play so much. You can see it was well executed. The communication, spotless for Team Queso. Vatira going up for the fake off the sidewall to let it flow into the midfield. We're getting creativity from Team Queso. Can't say too much from Dignitas, but they have been clutch.
Uh-oh. Ooh. Apparently Jack just barely dodged the demo. That one would have been open. Here's Vatira. That one a little bit wide. 12 shots now for Team Queso. 9 for Dignitas. A minute 45 into this overtime in a crucial, crucial game for Dig. Vatira, that's a great challenge and maybe an opportunity now for Queso. This one coming out towards the box. A big clear from Dignitas. Almost beats the last man back. And what an out here from Joyo to immediately turn it back around.
Yeah.
Dig will have to reset. Apparently Jack, well, he's throwing a couple twists in there and he made the defense think. In the end, it's Team Queso to throw it downfield.
It looks like Abjack's trying to give him a taste of their own medicine. Some creativity. Vatira is forced to get back on defense. Goes for the early challenge, and it was a very fortunate bounce for him. If that went out into the midfield, it might have been over here in this overtime. For Dignitas, who are looking, waiting, very patient in the midfield. Maybe a mistake will come out. There's a demo and a bump play from Joyo, but doesn't lead to anything, and they're still back on their own half.
Dangerous ball here on the Queso side. Rise does get the touch. Joyo to flick it on. That one's going to be wide, but it's a good out for Team Queso, who have been feeling a little bit more and more of the pressure here from Dignitas. Oh my. Unfortunate touch here for Dig. Vatira threatening. 3 minutes of overtime upon us. Tied up. Knotted at 2.
Scrub. Wait, Joyous? Oh my goodness, I saw him jump early on. If that shot was anywhere near the target, could have been over. Anxious play there from Dignitas, but they stay alive, and they're looking to build something on offense. That's
a good demo from Joyous, but Rise is going the other way with the ball, and he gets the dunk. Opportunity for Joyo. The net's open, and he put it wide.
Oh.
Joyous there to clear it away. It was a tough angle for Joyo, but one he could certainly hit. And we keep going. Over 3.5 in overtime. Here comes Joyo again. Trying to make amends. Oh, he flips it by Abjack. Another touch from Scrub. We'll clear it for now.
And the demo.
Rise dove at it. He got the demo. Now Vatira. He's got Rise on the far side. Apparently Jack reads it nicely, and Joyous to clear it downfield. Is this one in for Dig?
What?
It's going to drop. It's wide open, and 4 minutes on the dot. Dig are back in it.
And I think this might be one of the first times we've seen somebody on Dignitas outspeed and outpace that third man from Team Queso. A huge, monstrous clear from their own half. And that one floats in on a game that Dignitas stole from Team Queso.
Wow. And that one is going to change this series.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure of it.
That's huge.
With the way that Dignitas have gotten back into this, with the way that Queso has let this one get away, you feel like all that momentum that Queso has been riding has completely been eliminated.
Oh, man.
We'll see how they come out in the next game, but that one hurts if you're on the Queso side.
I mean, Dig, now they have a safety net still of that extra game. You think if Queso win this matchup, or win this individual game, excuse me, then Dignitas, they're forced, obviously, to go for the reverse sweep. They have no leg room. And with that win, with that comeback, off of the 0-second goal, Dignitas, they've got an extra life, they've got confidence, and now they have momentum going into this series. Team Queso, I would be scared if I were you, because things are just now starting to heat up for Dig.
Yeah, I think it's still not a great game from Dignitas. I'm not going to lie to you. It's still not the best work from Dig, but they do come out with the win, and that's what's important at the end of the day. And now they've really stopped that momentum, as we've mentioned, from Queso. We'll see how they come out.
I mean, regardless of how solid of a game it's been, Corelli,
it's
Team
open.
Queso, they're not clutch in those dire moments. Meanwhile, Abjack, he's got a free shot.
And that's a great demo on the last man. Jorius taking out Rise. And it was something, it popped in my head. I didn't mention it last game, but we haven't seen too many physical plays come out. The bumping, the demo, it's been here and there. It happens. But that man pushing downfield and taking out the last man in that way, like Jorius did to Rise, is a great way to open up the net. And Dignitas have done that in previous series and in previous regionals. That's how they've opened up the net many, many times.
Well, for me, Corelli, it feels like we have seen a lot of physical plays from Dignitas, but they haven't been well timed. You know, like if we do see a rare demo here and there from Abjack, which you're correct, it has not been nearly as much as the previous series. But when we do see it, it's like the timing is a bit off. They go for that third man, they take him out, but by the time that demo lands, you've got Team Queso already down the other side of the field, ready to mount a counterattack. And Abjack, what a steal there, and a 50-50 win in the midfield dig. They've got some life and they've got some energy back into this game.
And Rise, what a read on his touch from apparently Jack, and you're rewarded with a wide open net. Dig now cooking here against Team Queso.
That one, man, that was such a bold challenge there from Abjack, who now has both goals. Feeling good, feeling confident. He's up for that one early, doesn't find it. The reads connecting for Dignitas. Just a minute into this game, 2-0 lead for Dig. Seems like they figured out what they were missing, and now they're ready to play.
Both teams, just going back to Demolition, both teams averaging around 5 per game. We certainly haven't gotten that.
Oh, absolutely not.
His shot will go and be turned away by Scrub. Another opportunity here for Queso, now in an unfamiliar position, at least in this series. That's a great pass down to Rise, and apparently Jack read it. Nobody came up with the ball.
Maybe something glorious.
Queso having to come back into this. And right now, they've only fielded one shot through about 2 minutes now. Dignitas getting a hold of the midfield and doing a better job of denying Queso when they want to move downfield. Maybe not here as Joyo does throw it into the Dignitas corner, but a good clear from Jorius will get him out.
Good movement there from Rise. The back pass to keep possession, move forward. Nice 50-50 in the midfield. Joyo, what's he got? Going for something maybe off the backboard. The read doesn't connect from Scrub Killer, but it doesn't matter because his teammates are in the right position to keep this ball out and defend off any attacks from Team Queso.
Dig looking for something on the Queso side. The first 2 games weren't great. Third one wasn't that great either, but they came out with the win. In this game, they looked a lot better, a lot more composed. Apparently, Jack wants to get by Vatira, and Vatira patiently waits on that back wall for him, and a big clear now for Rise. We see this more and more from Queso as well, just tossing it downfield.
Yeah.
Here's an opportunity. They are always the first man down the field, though, to pick it up. They somehow make it work with the boom ball. Here's Joris with the flip reset and the dunk. Dig up by 3.
Oh, this is just adding insult to injury at this point, Corelli. You beat one opponent in the midfield, get the flip reset, and then why not throw the dunk on top of that? Jorius, the 3rd goal, and it was a pretty one.
And I think what's beautiful about that play is he only had 10 boosts, but he fluttered it. He made that 10 boost go a lot longer than just 10 boosts. And a great way to stay behind that ball and use that flip reset over the last man. And a good dunk as well. 3-0 for Dignitas.
The demo from
Scrub trying to make it 4 off the crossbar. Apparently Jack, he's going to get a quadruple tap off the back wall.
Well, just look at that timing there, Corelli, of that demo from Scrub Killer. We were talking about the physical gameplay. I was discussing the timing of it, and that one was a prime example of the best timing you could ask for. Scrub Killer, he gets a demo when his team is moving forward, and then he turns on the ball to get an instant shot. Dignitas, they figured out the timing. They know exactly how to execute these demo plays. The mechanics are stepping up for every single player, I'd say, especially Abjack and Jorius here. And they look great, but maybe not too great. It's saved from the defensive line.
Pass.
And there's still passes coming through, and Joyo, the best first touch you could ask for, finally finds his mark.
And they knew Dignitas was in a bad spot here. All 3 of them on the line. Apparently Jackie has to dive. Joyo could just instantly rip that shot near post. So with the dive from apparently Jack, Joyo knew he could just cut it back.
Okay.
Queso.
Time.
Opportunity here. 1 minute and 10 seconds left, but they've got to work quickly. Here's a dangerous one. Joris doesn't have the read. Vatira's there. Apparently Jack will bail him out.
Corelli, do you believe in the Team Queso? A minute left. Do you believe they have what it takes right here?
Oh, they certainly have what it takes. It's just,
Here we go.
Is it going to come out? That's the question. And I don't know. Joria is a huge dunk again. Oh, he can't put it away. And now Vatira,
oh, wait, hold on.
He's got full boost. It's just apparently Jack. Vatira wants that dunk it through, and it will go through. Rise will push it home, and Queso within 1.
And this is the safest play you could go for. You're in a 1v1, Corelli. Instead of relying on mechanics or anything fancy or flashy, just hit him with the 50-50. Let that ball drop in front of you, squeeze it in, muscle it past the goal line, and get yourselves within 1. Team Queso, they could do it, but not unless they let Jorius do that. Okay, a big clear saves themselves a couple of seconds and definitely a goal there from Jorius.
30 seconds left. Queso inspired once again here in game 4. Apparently Jack trying to put this one away. It's not going to happen. Here comes Rise. He's had good reads today. Another good dunk off the ceiling. Joyo's there. And apparently Jack will just tap it away to his own corner. 10 seconds left. The last chance here for Queso if they want to make the comeback. And Dig not
Big
letting
win.
them out. Jorius, well, he won't get
Still
the
up,
touch.
still up.
Joyo, he's going to try and stay under, and he can't. And Dignitas able to tie up the series.
And this is ridiculous. Think about where we are and where we've come from in this series. We started out with a huge momentum win for Team Queso, 2-0. They were about to win the 3rd game in the series. That buzzer beater, that 0-second goal from Dignitas changed everything. And just like that, we've got a tied up series.
We've seen it so many times in Rocket League, Turtle, how a team can come out so hot like Team Queso has, and then something knocks them off the horse.
Right.
For this series, it was Dignitas coming back in that game where they were down by 2 goals, where they get into an overtime, where they win the overtime, and now Queso, who did fairly turn it around here in game 4, but just not enough time left on the clock for them to get it. They are not the same team as we saw in the first 2 games. I think that is indisputable at this point.
Well, they're not finding the reads in the midfield, and you have to give a lot of that credit to Dignitas for being much more unpredictable. They're moving the ball down the field with better mechanics. The passes aren't as easily readable, and because of that, it's thrown the Team Queso game plan way out of the window. And there's the Appjack, the first goal, 6 seconds in, and this man is already scoring.
Dignitas is rolling, and Scrub, oh my, great touch off the back wall, and Rise and Joyo just nowhere near it. Never were going to make a save on it.
Oh, man. You shouldn't have let it happen, Corelli. You shouldn't have let Dignitas get any momentum.
Don't blame this on me.
Corelli, this is your fault. I have to blame you. Sorry, man.
This is the fault of Dignitas, who have played so well to stay into this game. It wasn't pretty in the beginning, but now they're making it work. And that kind of has been the MO of Dignitas. It hasn't been pretty all season, but they've looked good at times, and it's been enough to win a regional. It's been enough here to get to a top 8, and so far it's enough to come back in this series.
Yeah. And to make it to the major as well. I believe Gregan was the one, as that one bounces off the side post and out. A painful miss from Team Queso. As I was just going to mention, Gregan, I believe, discussed the fact that Dignitas, they're relaxed. They don't have too much to play for. Obviously, seeding is incredibly important going into the major, but they've already clinched. They can be relaxed and, you know, be a bit more fluid. Meanwhile, Team Queso, everything is on the line for them. With Sweden, they want to have the best chance possible moving forward. You've got to take this series win. So much pressure here to handle.
And of course, the series tied up, and for Queso, they have played well in just about every game. Even some of the games that they've lost, they've still played quite well. Dignitas have just played to a different level now, and that's a good bump. Oh, apparently Jack will punch him out of the way.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
I got to watch this again. It looked like, I don't know if he used his flip or if Vatira was the one who flipped out. Vatira, he flipped out and then found Jack, who was in the exact spot he needed to be. He put himself in between the ball and the player. That path was found. And that is annoying, Corelli. You're raging after that play.
That was such a smart touch, or block or whatever from apparently Jack just to chase the last man up into the air. Brilliant stuff.
Oh,
And a 2-0 lead, a well-deserved 2-0 lead now for Dignitas, who have really sunk their teeth into this series now.
Oh, yeah. And for that play on that demo, I mean, Abjack, he had that ball pop up, and it was behind him. And yet he still knew the path that Vatira was going to take to get to the ball. Just such a smart and valuable play there for Dignitas as they get the second goal. Security for them as they look clean 2 minutes in.
What do Queso have for us? All eyes are on them now. Dignitas have figured out their side. They've looked better and better as the series has gone on. Queso have stagnated or look worse. Here's one off the backboard. Vatira waiting for it. And just a lob again off the backboard as Scrub will turn it away. Here's the pass out to Joyo.
Keep it
the
coming.
shot's on target. Here comes Queso as they cut the lead in half.
And they've been doing this all series long, putting an onslaught of shots back into the midfield. You missed the first one, put it back in, and somebody's going to clean it up. There it is. It's Joyo to put it away within one for Team Queso. We're talking an awful lot about Dignitas, but here comes Queso to shut us up.
Half a game to play still. Queso, still work to be had here. And Scrub, he went up after Joyo there. Did not give him the time of day. Here's Rise, just looking for space out on the Dignitas side. Now Vatira gets a good touch. Can he go towards net? Apparently Jack there to deny. Rise again on the pickup. Lobs it towards Dignitas. They mishandle it. Now Vatira will take the shot straight on. And he'll tie it up. A defensive blunder for Dignitas.
And this wasn't even that much of a high-pressure situation. Rise put that one off the backboard with no boost. It was a simple play there for Diggs. But the miscommunication, a huge gap and error in the defensive side. And like you said, Corelli, a banger of a shot to punish him.
That wasn't the hardest shot in the world, but boy, did it have to be placed correctly.
Yeah.
And he just found a little gap between the defenders on that near post.
At this point, it looks like Team Queso can just wait for those mistakes because they're coming out from Dig. And there's another one.
Are. Yeah, Dignitas, they've been doing that. Little defensive miscues. Now the pass over to Vatira. He wants it off the ceiling. Oh, he almost got it. As Scrub denies his shot. Tied up. Queso have come back into this one. But here comes apparently Jack as Vatira gets up high to deny his second touch. Coming up on a minute left. Queso wants to threaten again.
He's got boost.
Denied by apparently Jack. Now Vatira looking for that backboard. It's been weak for Dignitas, but this time Joris with a great clear downfield will deny.
This is getting scary now. Dig, they just keep going for big, huge boomer clears to the other side.
Oh, no one's there?
It wasn't working out at first, but I guess when nobody's in position, it doesn't matter what you got to do. You got a free shot.
Oh, and Vatira, I think, had full faith that his team was going to push that one downfield. He crept up a little bit too far, and when he turned around, it was too late. And it was wide open. A great challenge there from Dignitas.
Oh, man.
And the go-ahead goal.
What, the final minute for Queso, they struggle to not only find clutch plays. I mean, it seemed like they were coming back earlier in the previous game, but then couldn't find the connection to tie things up. You think back to the buzzer beater goal, then now here with that final minute, a big blunder on the defense and put into the midfield. Maybe the follow-up from Joyo. It missed. Another opportunity from Queso gone.
And they're going to need one here in the final 30. Demo on Vatira. Apparently Jack still threatening. This one going to be cleared away by Team Queso. 20 seconds left now. Dignitas looking to hold on to this late go-ahead goal, this late lead. Rise throws it downfield, and Jorius will come out of the gauntlet there on the back wall, fighting the man downfield. Rise and Queso. That one pitches towards net, but not enough. That one still up. Can Vatira get back to it?
Here we go.
He wants Rise. Rise can't get to it, and that one will die. Dignitas will put Queso on match point.
And at this point, Corelli, it felt like Team Queso were just battling against themselves. They got a couple of fortunate mistakes and forced them out of Dignitas. Then Team Queso, they needed to stay solid on defense to clutch it up in the final minute, and they just couldn't hold on. And we do, in fact, get a timeout from Team Queso. We'll see what they have to change and implement And it's not too much that you need to change, Corley, because Team Queso, they have a lot of great moments. It's very up and down for them here as we move on into the next game.
Yeah. Well, I think it's been up and down for both teams, honestly.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
been Dignitas, it was down, it's been up, and it's been fine for now. Queso is up, and now it's been down. I feel like for Queso, the offense is still there. We talked about a little bit. They're able to take advantage of some of the miscues from Dignitas. They get a little bunched up on the back wall or on their goal line, and Queso have really been able to use that backboard to their advantage.
Yeah.
But what's happening, I think, downfield, Dignitas have done a great job of the solo plays and threatening Queso and taking advantage of just like the little mistakes from the rotation on Queso. Obviously, they got a goal from a good demolition as well. The miscue from Vatira earlier, just kind of assuming his team was going to win that challenge and pushing out too far.
Yeah.
Dignitas have been able to take advantage of those, but I don't know how many of those mistakes are forced from Dignitas, right? And I think that's where Queso have to kind of clean it up, because I don't think Dignitas are forcing them to make those mistakes.
I mean, just think back to that previous game. If they were able to hold it down a bit more on defense, I think we would have walked away with the Team Queso win. But unfortunately, for those of you who are fans of Team Queso, you know, they're not looking the best in the rotations. We can say the same here for Dignitas, but Dig, they can still make those solo plays afterwards and make up for the mistakes. And I think apparently Jack is having a fantastic game here, going for the demos. He got involved more physically at the forefront of their offense, and since then, it has been lights out for their offense. Their defense, you can't say the same. It has been a bit awkward here and there, but at the end of the day, they're the ones getting the wins, which is all that matters.
For Dignitas, this has been a neck-breaking series when they come out and they've had whiplash getting back into it. But they've done a good job, and that's credit and a sign of a really good team from Dignitas. Being able to get back into the series like this against a team that you've beaten and I think are quite comfortable against Queso. I mean, there's been some game 5s, but they've been able to beat them every single time. To go down 2 games and then to battle back in the way that they have is really some fortitude from this Dignitas side.
For sure. And again, they're playing with nothing to lose at this point. They've already made the major. They're just here to play their game, to see what they can do. Obviously, for seeding, that is on the line. Meanwhile, Queso, tournament life on the line, of course, but also Sweden major contention on the line. We'll see how that pressure unfolds here against them, and especially after the timeout. What do they have in store for us?
And maybe the timeout is what they needed. Maybe they just needed to take a second to take a deep breath, realize what they've come from here in this series, and what that peak play, that peak Team Queso play is, and trying to find that once again. Like I said, I think the offense is still there for them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, one thing that I've loved about Team Queso is the fact that they can continue putting on so many shots within a matter of seconds, Corley. They keep flowing that ball into the midfield, and in a matter of, 10 seconds, they can put 3 or 4 shots on your backboard and on your net. So if you're not in perfect spots for Dig, they're going to punish you.
Yeah, and if you don't have boost either, Queso really take advantage of that, keeping that ball high. Dignitas wanting to threaten first. Apparently Jack with full boost looking for 2. Joyo doesn't get the touch. Apparently Jack does. Still turned away. Scrub, a great clear off his own backboard. Joyo, no boost to work with, will give it up. Rise. They're just going back and forth in this corner. Something that they've done all series long.
Oh, yeah.
Scrub killer with no boost. Joyo, he's still jumping. He thought Scrub might have had boost.
Dorius. Ooh, maybe off the ceiling. Didn't have his flip, but he got the follow-up. Looked deadly. And some good creativity out of Dignitas. Nice interception there from Rise, but it's straight back into the hands of Dig.
Great passing play over to apparently Jack. Turned away by Joyo. No boost to work with. Dig. They've done a better job finding each other downfield in this game. That offense certainly working right now. Joyo having to stretch out, and a good help from him. Now Rise is downfield.
Here we go.
Can pick it up. He'll just put it on target. Nobody's home. The overcommit from Dignitas, and Team Queso on the board first.
And I don't believe we saw a demo. It was quite literally everybody moving forward. There wasn't any big play physically from Team Queso. It was Dignitas getting a bit too greedy and looking for that extra follow-up.
Scrub got bumped coming back, but I don't think he would have been able to get back anyways. I don't think the bump actually mattered. They
Well, that
certainly
was such a
pushed them
big
too
win
far.
there on their own
Yeah.
half from Team Queso. They just it was a monstrosity of a challenge. They literally destroyed whoever it was on Dignitas. But then
Darius.
all of a sudden the defense starts crumbling. Abjack can't get the angle, and they barely escape.
It was opened up by a bump there on the Dignitas side. The defense was set up from Queso, but they were pushed out of the way. Queso. You certainly don't want to be playing defense this entire time. You're going up against one of the best offenses, if not the best offense right now in Europe. Here's Vatira. Joyo. Playing a little bit of offense now for Team Queso, and a clear will come out from Dig, but it's straight into the hands of Vatira. Scrub, no boost to work with, just getting as many touches on anything that can move in the corner there. And everyone gets out from Team Queso. Some physical play coming out to prevent the offense there from Queso on the Dig side. Uh-oh, that's not a good touch. This one coming out to Scrub off the crossbar. Scrub still trying to force it. Vatira somehow able to come out on top with it.
I don't think Rise had that red off the crossbar down, but I guess he got enough on the ball to at least slow the shot down and let Vatira recover. Team Queso, they're still alive here with the lead. But it looks terrifying because Dig keep ramping up this offense. That's a good interception, though, and that's going to waste some time off the clock.
That was dangerous. That was a much-needed demo there. Joyo had the backboard clean, and no one was in net, and he had the boost to chase after that ball. Joyo gets past two. Here comes apparently Jack. What can he do with it? Looking for the pinch, but it's not on target.
Oh. And it doesn't look bad here from Team Queso, Corelli. They have solid opportunities on offense. They just need to hold on, in this final minute, which they haven't looked the best in. This is where things get tested for Team Queso.
8 saves so far for Queso with the 2 shots that they've been able to put up. But they're 1 for 2, and that's a pretty good percentage. Dignitas, though, threatening. Joyo needs to get this touch. Still apparently Jack looking for teammates inside the box. Here comes Scrub Killa.
Vatira's there.
Now Joreus, he'll get
what a demo!
A brilliant demo coming out from Vatira now. 30 seconds left here in Game 6. Queso trying to force a Game 7. Joyo is able to push it down the line and some more. Has some options. We'll go for net. Scrub on the big clear. Maybe Dignitas has one more opportunity. Joreus
Final
with the
chance.
reset towards the net. Rise will clear it away.
Follow
It's
up.
wide open, but Joyo comes through, and apparently Jack isn't facing the right way. 10 seconds left. Team Queso holding on here in Game 6.
Into the midfield. Just waste as much time as you can. A good win there from Vatira. Just get this ball to the ground, and we'll go into Game 7. But Dignitas, they want to end it right here.
Apparently Jack trying to keep it up, and it won't happen. Team Queso coming out of the timeout. We'll get a 1-0 victory against Dignitas, and we're going to Game 7.
We're going the distance, Corelli. Team Queso, they clutched it up in the final minute. We've been waiting for that. No buzzer beater, no 0-second goal. There were some opportunities given to Dignitas, but they still held on. And I think a big difference here is the accuracy from Team Queso. 1 goal, shooting on 3 shots. Coming into this game, I believe it was 52 shots out of Team Queso to Dignitas' 35. So you can tell Dignitas, they're much more accurate, but Team Queso fixed that up in this game.
Insane series so far, Turtle, and approaching this Game 7.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have picked Game 7. Just not even seeing the series, I don't think I would have picked Game 7. Obviously, chat, you guys at home weren't picking a Game 7 either, with 89% of you in favor of Dignitas. But I just want to say, you got to really hand it to Queso here. They have played so well today. They have looked a different level than what they've had even before. And I think some people had believed and had talked about Queso in a couple of the regionals before this, where they had some tough schedules. They couldn't break through. They lost to Dignitas in Game 5 to miss out on top 8. Now they're really showing what they're capable of, and Queso's here to play here in Europe. Yeah,
they just need that clutch factor, especially in the final minute. And we did see more demos out of Queso, which I think is a big reaction and response that we saw from the timeout from Team Queso to see what they needed to change. They were dealing with Abjack, who was just constantly harassing them in their own half. So the best way, in my opinion, always, whenever you're dealing with a lot of physical plays, is to fight fire with fire. They did exactly that. We saw that crucial demo play from, I believe it was Vatira, on the striker. and that's what kept them alive. Team Queso, they're fighting for so much, and they just got one more game to go.
And we knew that this game was going to, well, we said this game was going to be a shootout. I'm not sure if we've exactly gotten that, but it has been a battle nonetheless on both sides. And you have seen the offense, at least in the shooting department, coming out. You mentioned that earlier. But they're still living up to that name of being huge, high-powered offenses, of putting on chances to the opposition. They're not maybe scoring them as high as a percentage as maybe they did previously coming into this top 8 reach, or to the quarterfinals here. But at the end of the day, you can see Dignitas have really turned around that offense since Game 3. Queso, honestly, I think they've been quite consistent throughout this series, where the offense is still there. I think the defense has just picked up from Dignitas and has been able to turn away Queso more often than not.
Well, Team Queso, they just had to adapt a lot more than Dignitas, because initially it was just Dignitas playing against themselves. They couldn't find their own play style. The timing wasn't there with the demo plays. Overall mechanics, we weren't seeing too much, but then things started to amp up. We see Appjack in this replay package getting a demo, being physical, the mechanics connecting. But Team Queso, like you mentioned correctly, they were consistent. We have seen them go for those midfield passes and those shot after shot plays where they just keep putting the ball into the midfield, taking a shot at net, waiting for a mistake. That has stayed the same. All they needed to improve on was that clutch factor with that final minute, not panicking. They've done that, and they've made themselves and really got themselves into Game 7.
Now, here's a fun stat for you. Rise has played 145 games in RLCS, 15 games from Joyo, zero games coming into RLCS this season. Queso is getting better and better. 160 games between all of them, and they have gotten so good between 3 regionals here in Europe.
And that just explains the clutch factor that we were talking about, Corelli. Being able to maintain your emotions in the final minute and not get scored on in that last second. Hold it down on the defensive side. If they keep getting better and better, who knows what the capabilities are of this team. But on defense in Game 7, maybe the pressure's a little bit too much to handle.
And that will be the question. With the pressure on, Dignitas able to put away that first goal. That time, defense not holding up to it. And an early 1-goal lead for Dig.
An absolutely preventable moment there from Team Queso. Overextending, not the way you want to start Game 7. They're back on offense, though.
Okay, so the accuracy hasn't been there for them in the last few games, but they're able to come out on top. Looking to break through the Dignitas defense, now find themselves down a goal. Opportunity here for Vatira. Just pops it over Joria. Still trying to fight for it. Apparently Jack will backflip. Now Joyo to the back wall. Another touch. That one's going to clear the net. First minute come and gone. And Dignitas, they're happy to sit on the 1 goal if they have to. They would love another one to get that cushion. This would be a major upset game if Dignitas were to fall.
Team Queso are looking for a little bit more demos, rotating in through the net of Team Dignitas. And speaking of demos, there's Scrub Killer to get one on Joyo. But what will it lead to? You've got Rise on the backboard, finds the touch and takes his time. A very patient clear, and it works out.
Apparently Jack, no boost to work with, but Vatira still thought he had something left in the tank, was trying to read a flip reset or another touch. Joyo in the midfield, down to Vatira. Will look towards the back wall, but Scrub's there to clear downfield for Dignitas.
All across the field, there it is, the connection! Forcing 2 players out of Dignitas, and the boost steal from Rise, but a team bump. And just like that, it's all ruined the play, the setup. It was there. Team Queso couldn't connect.
It was a pretty long-range shot there from Queso. And for Dignitas, they're better than to let that one in. Coming up on halftime, 1 goal is the difference in favor of Dignitas at the moment. Here comes Jorius, has some space.
Free shot.
Shot, but it's wide. Another comes through from apparently Jack, and Dignitas up by 2.
And you would prefer this here, moving on offense. The safest option here is to hit it off the sidewall. I think Jorius was still going for a shot on target, but you are very happy in this situation if you're Abjack, because that's a much easier shot to take on the back of the net, especially in Game 7. You want to play it as safe as you can.
Remember what's at stake here for Queso. Oh, they need the win here just to be in contention for Major.
Yeah.
Dignitas already clinching. Queso, they've played inspired throughout this series. They're going to need some real inspiration here in the final 2 minutes. As Dignitas, they've picked it up, and they're looking to hold on now. What a touch from apparently Jack. Joreous tried to get the read.
I mean, they're looking comfortable with the way they're positioning Joreous on the backboard. Scrub Killer's not rotating out right there and going for a bit more of an aggressive approach. The pass into the midfield. Dignitas, they are connecting everywhere on the pitch. Team Queso really have their work cut out for them.
Minute 40 left for Queso to get back into this one. It's been all Dignitas. Haven't really seen a lot out of Queso. Here's another one off the back wall. And my goodness, everyone going for it on the Dignitas side. They do come out with it and clear it downfield. Time is becoming the enemy for Queso. And this one lobbed towards the back post. Joreous wanted it. The defense holds strong. Only 4 shots for Queso to the 9 of Dignitas right now.
There's got to be an early interception here from the passing out of Dignitas. We saw it earlier on from Queso. They were getting in front of the passes, figuring out where Dignitas were trying to move the ball, but so far it's been all Dignitas working around Team Queso. That one slides across, still nothing, and then the own bump play attempt from Rise, but he hit the ball instead, and then the double tap from Dignitas. It looks too good, too much to handle. They do escape, but there's only 45 seconds, Corelli.
Oh, Joyo, he could have it there, but not enough boost to get back down, trying to bump people out of the way.
Here we go.
For Vatira to put something through. 30 seconds remain. Rise's shot is blocked by apparently Jack.
Demo
opens up some space. Boost for Joyo, looking for the backboard here. Joreous will deny. Queso need one here with some time left on the clock, and they're threatening. Here's Vatira with 40 boost. Finds the back wall, looking for follow-up. No one's there in time. Joyo with a weak shot towards the net. Dignitas was in shambles, but Queso couldn't convert. Still opportunity. Another pass play comes through, but Vatira can't get up. 7 seconds remain. Queso have thrown everything at Dignitas. Maybe one more, but they just can't get the touch. And Dignitas will come back in the series and win it in 7.
A disaster from Team Queso. Dignitas, they have done it. They went down 2 games in a row and almost lost the 3rd one, but battled back. Were persistent and ruthless to get this one back in their own control. Dignitas, game 7, they got the ice in their veins. There were cold-blooded killers there on the goal line, Corelli. It looked like Team Queso were surely going to score, but somehow Dig kept finding that rotation back into the save.
7 saves there from Dignitas, and I would assume a lot of those came right at the end of that series, at the end of that game. Queso, like we talked about, they've been out shooting Dignitas in almost every single one of these games in this series. But Dignitas, they got the freebie right off the rip. And then this counterattack play from Dignitas, and Queso just could never break through. And again, the offense is there for Queso. It was not bad from them, but they just couldn't break Dignitas when it mattered most.
I mean, I'm looking at the replay package, and I'm seeing the first 2 goals that were absolutely preventable. Even the defender in the second goal could have easily found the read off of the sidewall if he knew it wasn't going to go in. He instead just decided to wait in net. And then the freebie, of course, the first 30 seconds, you gave away a free goal to Dignitas in a game where it hasn't been as much of a shooting crazy game, you know, like we saw in the previous series. A shootout, that's the word I was looking for. I couldn't find it. It wasn't a shootout. So those goals, they're so valuable. You give up one early on in game 7.
Well, it was such a great point that Turtle disconnected. So we are going to go to a quick break. We've got 2 more European Rocket League games coming up here. Stay with us after the break.